Hello everyone, my name is Ben.
And my name is Micah.
And welcome back to Pass the Podcast, a podcast where we're on take number 3 because we're having an off day.
Oh my god, this motherfucker didn't push record.
I didn't push record, and that's why I'm Satan incarnate.
You should probably just fucking drown yourself in holy water or something. I don't know how they work.
Should just drown myself, just in general, probably.
Yeah, please do.
Please do? Alright, well, I'm working on it. Outside of that, luckily we didn't record the whole episode while not recording. We were probably only a few minutes
10 minutes
there.
in.
10 minutes
10
in.
minutes of my
we were
life.
10 minutes in. That's 10 minutes of our lives we won't get back. But we do it for the content. We out here
Do
for
we?
the content.
Do we?
Yeah, I think so. So, Micah, who do we have with us today?
Me and Ben.
Yeah, we have no guests today, even though we're on an in-between episode, because these are just going to happen from time to time, if not most of the time. We're going to see how it goes today. We got a few topics to roll on, I suppose, and we're just going to go kind of off our dome here. It's a week
starting
in
off with the
between here.
Grammys.
What's
starting
up?
off with the Grammys. Starting off with the Grand.
Starting off with the Grammys, yes.
What the fuck is his name? The really good guy from The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. It's one man, so you can still just refer to him as The Weeknd, but we got Abel over here.
Mr. Weeknd.
Mr. Weeknd. Is calling the Grammys out.
Dude, I was not a huge fan of Blinding Lights. It was good though. It just wasn't my vibe. And
yeah,
that
and
shit
After Hours
should,
in general, right?
It should win a Grammy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it not won all the Grammys already?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this? Should give the man a Grammy.
So the really interesting thing that I, wanted to talk on is the fact that for Beauty Behind the Madness and Starboy, easily worse albums by the same guy, he was getting nominations and got, I think, 3 Grammys between those two albums. So how can they possibly act like, this much better album by him is in any way not deserving of their recognition, I mean, I would imagine you feel the same.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You gave Tyler a Grammy, it's time to give The Weeknd more Grammys. Does he have
Yeah, he does. Like I just said, he has about... I think he has 3.
He deserves 8.
But that does kind of wrap back to last year. Even when they give a Grammy these days, they kind of fuck it up because, Tyler over there getting the Hip Hop Award last year, that was this big thing because he was just, there's the infamous picture of him holding the Grammy just looking kind of unenthusiastic because he got it for hip hop and he's like, I didn't even make a rap album, I feel like they're just on such a downward spiral lately. How do you think people...
Do yourself a favor?
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Don't watch the Grammy.
Don't watch the Grammys. That's a pretty hot take, I think, because even if they're kind of out of touch and just a bunch of fucking old boomer people not in touch with today's reality, I think it's kind of fun to make fun of, wouldn't you think?
It is fun to make fun of, but there's better things to make fun of.
There's better things to make fun of, eh? How do you think that's
Nav.
viewed? Nav is a really great thing to... really great person to make fun of, I suppose, anyways. How do you think the Grammys are viewed, just in the general public?
In the general public, I'm gonna go for everyone that's 25 and up for the most part. They're just shit, this is good music. This is what's good. The Grammys decide what's good.
Yeah, I always find it kind of interesting when in previous years I've, been sitting there knowing most of the popular music that's coming out at the time, whatever, and I don't typically make music discussion with that many people, but then the Grammys happens and they see me listening to something that was, fairly popular, fairly well received, or, recognize it. And I'm just sitting there holy shit, this person knows this music, whatever kind of thing. Even if it is kind of, whatever popular, I think that, those of us in the kind of general music community forget how out of touch almost everyone is with popular music. But I'll be listening to something and they'll recognize it. It's surprising, but that's because it got a Grammy. I feel like that happens a lot, where it's like, oh, something has a Grammy, so now everyone listens to it.
I remember,
it's still weird how
Tyler,
they control people that much. Yeah. People
like
know Tyler, the Creator now.
I've been listening to that bitch since Cherry Bomb. It's technically so have you.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember
Flower Boy.
Cherry Bomb. No, not Flower Boy. Wolf popped up my radar when I was a kid. It was on the Adult Swim with Loiter Squad and shit. But I didn't really have a good way to like access music, so I was like, oh hell yeah, they played 30 seconds of that really dope track. It was Beamer. The Beamer side.
I
Anywho.
Campfire. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that? How, like, especially with Tyler, the Creator, as you were kind of saying, how eventually people will just start knowing all of the artists just because they got a Grammy or they were recognized at the Grammys or something like that, because I feel like that happens every year. Even though everybody here in the music scene, I feel like we're kind of out of touch with the regular people as much as they're out of touch with music, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Because every time it happens, it's like, oh yeah, they got a Grammy, I like this song now.
Yeah. There's just one artist. Fuck, I don't know, man. It's called like The Naked and Young or something, or The Young. I don't know.
Naked and Famous, I think is who you're talking about.
Probably. That's definitely some shit that I was totally out of touch with. My coworker showed it to me. I'm like, oh, this is like, all right, this is some like radio shit, and she was like, yeah, I don't listen to the radio. I'm like, oh, how do you fucking live?
Right, yeah. I think that, you know, that's actually a pretty good topic to transition into here. People just listen to the radio sometime. Was there, like, a point in your life when that was what you did?
Yeah, but I was, like, even then I was still, like, an edgy hipster kid listening to, like, player radio stations. There was this one...
What radio stations?
When I lived, I moved away from, like, for a minute. And I was closer to Milwaukee, and I was able to pick up a radio station with my satellite radio from Chicago that would play like fucking black metal at like 3 a.m. So I was still an edgy hipster boy.
Oh, well, okay, that's interesting. I remember listening to pop stations with my mother just because that was what was like on the radio, and the good old butt rock metal station.
Hell yeah.
With my brother.
JJO 94.1, the hardest shit you've ever heard. Nickelback.
Yeah, I think people know we're from Wisconsin, so that's probably okay to keep in here, I think.
Whatever.
Yeah. The 5-finger death punches and the
finger fruit flavored by the foot punch.
Fruit flavored by the foot.
Finger punch.
Yeah. That was always the life back then, and I think again that's something that we're kind of out of touch with, is the fact that there's a lot of people who that's just how they consume music, is just they turn on the radio and it's just there. You know? It's kind of interesting to think about. And I mean, I would like to challenge anyone who is still in that position to go listen to an album or two, and just see what you like.
Oh, dude, even before we started like hanging out, I didn't listen to like full albums ever.
Yeah. I suppose you did just kind of like see what popped up on the internet radios, whatnot, like Pandora and things like that, as we were talking about in the episode with Nate, actually. Yeah. That is, it's interesting to think about, like, with how much that switches my life around. The fact that, you know, I listen to so much music in a day. It's kind of crazy to think about how it wasn't always like that. Yeah, but moving forward from that. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. Moving on from that, we were gonna talk about our Spotify Wrapped in this one too.
You go first.
Leaning totally the other direction. into what all of the many musics we listen to is, rather than when we didn't listen to music. So
dude. Now we're cultured.
I don't know how we want to go about this. Yeah, now we're
just
we're cultured, boys.
You pull up your Spotify Wrapped on your phone, right? Just fucking turn your sound off, just in case. Because I know my beginning, it's an artist called Whitey, and he's always super cool about letting artists have creators have their music in their videos.
Even so, though, I mean, it's going to be hard to hear you over the music happening, so we should probably do that.
Yeah.
Shit!
My ears were assaulted.
Do that. And Zillakami screams into the microphone.
I was fucking listening to Toxic Boogaloo in the shower. It was a good time.
That is a very good location to listen to Toxic Boogaloo within.
Hell yeah.
I love how Spotify, even right here on the Wrapped thing, says the longest year ever. It's like, yes, it was a long ass year.
No, not really. Awesome. It's fine.
That's because you don't go outside. So let's start you off with a win, is what it tells me, with 405 new artists this year. Okay, I feel like I have so little to compare this with because it doesn't say it on like just the general cards for people, and I feel like that's a weirdly large number. But
I can flex on you. Mine's 532.
Yeah, I saw that. So I don't know if you just listen to more like new music than me, which is a very possible thing, or what exactly the case is. I would be so curious.
I'll tell you what. Like, I tell you what's going on there. Whenever I like meet someone, I'm like, yo, what bands do you listen to?
Oh, and do you just
listen to an album?
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
That's why I know every artist.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this in personal before, to where I'll mention an artist and he'll just be like, oh yeah, I know them, and it'll be some random ass obscure shit that I figured he had never heard of before.
It used to be a game.
Yeah. we did play a game with that where it would be, have I heard of the thing that Micah's heard of, or vice versa, rather, I suppose.
Yeah, I usually won. Because I'm like, oh yeah, man, I've listened to them back in fucking 89.
Back in 89. Before you were even a thought that had happened.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. I feel like we should just go back and forth and compare our like stats. Our stats like this. I
mean, I'm winning so far.
And I believe you were winning genres too, if I remember right.
How
many genres did you listen to this year?
Let me pull this shit up. So, generalist, who says you have to go outside to explore? I've listened to 456 genres, including 166 new ones.
Jesus.
I didn't know there was 456 genres.
Yeah, I would love to see the breakdown of this shit, and that's the thing that drives me fucking crazy about Spotify versus some of the other ones, is that it doesn't like let you break it down and see what genres you listen to, because I am so curious as to what the 334 fucking genres I've listened to is. 330. What are they?
How many new ones? How many new ones?
146.
Oh, so we were close. You were catching up to me on those new genres, but I've got more overall than you.
Yeah, earlier in the year I was listening to a ton of experimental shit, and those probably just have this massive list of genres that it has under it. I have to imagine
Transcendental black metal.
Transcendental black metal, yeah, dude.
Fuck you for making me listen to that.
I liked the Transcendental black metal. That was a bop.
It was
that
good.
Was a bop
it was
of a
bop.
record. Yeah, dude.
It was a bit of a bop.
Yeah, absolutely. My top genres. I don't know if you and I have talked about this before. What I've got on here kind of surprised me, actually, with hip hop being my number 1, modern rock being my number 2, emo rap being my number 3, pop being my number 4, and art pop being my number 5. And what's almost the most surprising about that, now that I'm thinking about it, is the fact that pop itself is higher than art pop. But what was yours?
Okay, so I hate myself for this, and because there's almost no variation in my top 5 genres, and I have
Oh
more
no.
genres than you. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Let me fucking pull this shit up. It went away. Hold on, come back. Okay, so we are at number 1, indie garage rock. Number
Oh
2,
boy.
modern rock. Number 3, hip hop. Number 4,
Hey,
indie
we've
rock.
got the
Number
same.
5, rock.
Number 4 rock and number 5 rock. What?
Number 4, indie rock. Number
Oh,
5,
indie
rock.
rock. Okay. Yeah, so I do surround myself with indie bros. That is obvious.
Everything was
Because
rock. Besides
because
hip-hop. Hip-hop
due to my friend here having these genres being exactly what he's listening to, and the fact that my audience is all indie bros. Hello, my fellow indie bros. It's clear that indie bros are the only people existing in this general field. My bubble is all indie bros.
All my friends are
We
indie bros.
Yes. We have the same number 2, so that's cool.
Sick.
There was
What's
2 bands in particular. What?
I
What
know
were
you're
you
good,
saying?
man. Keep going. I was gonna move on.
There was 2 bands in particular that definitely made it, made that made that the case. But how about your top song of the year? Let's talk about that.
Kids by MGMT, and I
That is
partially blame
very
my
fitting for
girlfriend.
you.
I partially blame my girlfriend. It was played here. It's doing its thing. It'll tell me how much it was played in just a second here. It was something ridiculous. It was like in several hundred. Hold on. It was first streamed on January 15th this year. Oh wow. Date with most streams March 14th. Come on, just tell me how many I got. My 100th stream was on May 13th. I've
Wow.
streamed it 122 times.
Wow.
Just that one
That's
track.
a lot. That's a lot of times.
It's almost too many.
My top track is really funny. So
It's gonna be something.
I'm just gonna say if you know, you know. All right, if you know, you know. There's a reason for it, and if you know, you know. So when I go over to this slide, it's "Say So" by Doja Cat is what's playing right now.
I don't know.
I'm gonna leave you in the dark. I'm gonna leave you in the dark.
Alright.
You'll never
Me
know.
and the rest of the. Fuck you.
If you know, you know. If you know, you fucking know.
How many streams?
I played it 134 times. And I'll also tell you that that was all overnight with my headphones not plugged in. Or with my headphones plugged in, but not on my head.
Why did you play it over and over and over?
If you know, you know.
Okay, what's the
Let
next
him
one?
know in the comments if any of you know. Your top songs. We can just look at that when we look at our playlist, I suppose.
I like it. I've got it pulled up here. I'm cute pulled up here.
What's up?
Here, you're a good listener. Feel free to show your exes. I'm not against my
I
fucking
love
top
that.
podcasts. I only listen to like 2 goddamn podcasts.
I only listen to my friend's podcast and the official podcast. Shout out the official boys.
Ooh,
because I love.
which one are you, Pioneer?
What? Oh, I am a pioneer of the remix of Stupid Horse.
Oh yeah, that's one.
So that was cool, I guess.
So for all of our listeners that are hipsters, I am now the best hipster. I got Soko, Are You a Magician? That's like the most hipstery fucking Canadian pop artist ever. And I fucking love it. So I win. Just so everyone in the audience knows, I win.
He is the mega hipster god now. He's the final boss hipster.
Gonna start wearing a fedora and skinny jeans.
Yeah, you are. I'll force you. I'm
gonna
gonna hold you to that.
I'm gonna regain my virginity.
Regain your virginity. You'll find it.
I'm gonna find it.
He's gonna find his virginity.
It's somewhere out there. It's like. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever said.
He's gonna find his virginity.
Get out, Sky.
Keeping that in.
Keep that in.
Yeah. Who was your top artist of the year?
I'm trying to find it. Who was by your
Oh,
side?
actually, we'll just talk about it at the final summary thing.
How many artists did you listen to this year?
I listened to 959 artists this year.
1,341.
He fucking beats me again. What the fuck?
By like 400, Ben. Get on my fucking level.
How?
I listen to everything, Ben. Every year.
Where?
These aren't always.
Are there
everywhere.
even 1,400 artists? How?
And there's I listen to new ones every single day.
You bastard.
Always listening to someone new. Because I made a music fucking in my Discord, I made a fucking music channel, and everyone's just been fucking spamming the shit out of it. And that playlist, some motherfucker added a bunch of songs.
Fucking cheating.
Oh, what do you mean? you have a fucking music YouTube channel, and we have a podcast.
Eat my ass. I don't give a shit.
You should be winning, if anything. Holy shit. Fucking uncultured swine looking ass.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Who is your fucking top artist, you piece of shit?
Stockholm Syndrome kicked in. The Strokes is my top artist.
Good. Mine's MGMT.
MGMT. Yeah, so I made one decision this year, which was listening to Is This It? And that is such a huge decision, because first and foremost, I've probably played it 1,000 times now, and that's why the Strokes are that high up on the list. But outside of that, I mean, it also kind of kicked off the YouTube channel in a direction to, where it is now, which is kind of cool. So it was, I think, the first video that ever got views. But of course, there was numerous requests on requests to listen to more Strokes, and at some point in there, I was unfamiliar with all other music besides the Strokes.
I remember that. It was a good time.
It was the only music that I knew. I forgot that other music existed for a while. So yeah, that was Stockholm Syndrome. I blame you all.
Okay, run through your bottom four real quick, and then I'll run through
my bottom four. So Death Grips is number 2. I started listening to Death Grips more and more this year, even though I did probably through the last half of last year, but it was a severe addiction at some point. We can talk about my Death Grips addiction sometime, but either way, number 3 was another case of Stockholm Syndrome with Arctic Monkeys. And I blame you all less for that, though, because most of that came from the fact that every time I got in the car, I started playing their first album. The Weeknd was number 4, which may actually surprise some people. And Linkin Park was number 5, which I think is the first time they've been outside of the top 3 ever for me. So how about you?
My number 2 is Mac DeMarco, because, I'm indie bro, love Mac DeMarco. He dropped... This Old Dog like last year. I was like, whatever. Anyways, Death Grips is number 3. Current Joys is number 4. And that's because I'm fucking an edgy indie sad boy, bro.
I've never heard of Current Joys. But...
it's so good. He's got a song, one of his music videos on the song The Hour of the Wolf. He just fucking like drinks someone's blood. And it's super edgy and like gothy. It's all in black and white.
Oh, you did show me that.
Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah. Anyways, number 5 is the Andrew Jackson Jihad, otherwise known as AJJ. For those of you who listen to...
I've been requested them before. Okay, yeah.
They're really good. Their first album's the only really, really good one, and then the newest album's also really, really good. Otherwise, everything else is kind of shit. It's all mediocre. And if you think it's a 10, it's because you're just an edgy fucking hipster who thinks shitty music is good. But I listened to the first album and the last album so much, it made number 5. So I'm also an edgy shitty hipster who thinks shitty music is good.
Yeah, I suppose you are. That's very little to my surprise, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So, top 5 songs, shall I go? Shall I go first?
Just fucking do all 5, like bang them out right quick.
Say So by Doja Cat, as we already know. Number 2 was Perhaps Vampires is a Bit Strong. God damn it, I forgot the name. Perhaps Vampires is a Bit Strong, but I think is just the whole name, and then it has an ellipsis. It's like one of my new favorite songs, and I forgot the fucking name. Hustle Bones by Death Grips is 3. Bad News by Aries is number 4. Fucking love Aries. Big shout out to Aries. And 5 is Bad Decisions by The Strokes, which I thought was very interesting. Isn't Take It or Leave It, but still. How about you?
Oh, fuck. I had Kids by MGMT. When You Die by MGMT for number 2. It's Working by MGMT for number 3. Number 4 was Time to Pretend by MGMT. And number 5 was Weekend Wars by MGMT. I Blame My Girlfriend.
God. It's all one artist? Yes. You listen to fucking 1,400 artists? And your top 5 songs is all MGMT.
I honestly think my girlfriend and I shared a Spotify for a minute. And all she listened to was MGMT on repeat.
That would do it, yeah. She was kind of in an MGMT phase this year, like
Still
I was in a Strokes phase this year.
Isn't out of it. She won't be out of it.
I was kidnapped and forced to listen to the Strokes, and then Julian Casablanca became my dad the next week.
My girlfriend, I caught her listening to Julian Casablanca's first album, and I caught her listening to The Voids. And I was like, well, looks like I'm buying a wedding ring.
Oh, yeah. That's usually how it goes, I guess. Did you beat me in time listened? Minutes listened?
Say yours first, because I think I did.
Mine was 61,861, which actually seems weirdly low, but...
I would have to say we're even on that, because I'm going to go ahead and say that in the short month when my girlfriend didn't have Spotify Premium, and I did, she added like 2,000 minutes, but I'm at 67,035.
Yeah, we're probably about even, because I also was trying out Apple Music quite a bit for the first 3 months of the year.
You're cutting this part out because you just sinned to me.
What?
You sinned. You don't say those words around me.
Apple Music is perfectly fine.
No, it's not. It's not Spotify. It's not Spotify.
No, it actually is. In fact, they're usually less dickish about paying the artists. In fact, that's why I was considering switching over. Actually, though, the main reason is Dr. Dre had not put out, what's the name of the album? The Chronic. He had not put out The Chronic on Spotify, and I was like, well, I want to listen to The Chronic, so I guess I'm signing up for the fucking trial. And then it kind of just like was like, oh, I kind of like the lyrics function on here. That's kind of cool. So I didn't have to like necessarily pull up Genius with Spotify. Most of the time the lyrics would be listed in the app, but then sometimes the lyrics would be wrong, and sometimes the lyrics sometimes I wanted to see annotations too. I don't know. It was kind of a pain in the ass as far as that went. So it was like, all right, well, I think I'm just going to go back to all of my playlists and shit, which I had been listening to during that time when I wasn't listening to albums for the most part too. So I probably, most of my music for the first 3 months of the year, though, was probably on Apple Music, at least half of it. And then throughout the year, just my many, many minutes of St. Pepsi I listened to, of course, were not on Spotify because St. Pepsi is not on Spotify.
Oh, yeah. The amount of times I played Ex-Military on repeat.
Oh, yeah, Ex-Military, too. That was a big one. And the amount of time I listened to vinyl was actually really high this year. I probably have not played as much vinyl any other year as I did this year. Quarantine happened, and as did almost everyone else, I was just like, all right, well, time to buy the entire record store. I have a pretty huge record collection that definitely did not exist last year. Well, I wouldn't say huge, because compared to some people's, it's... Yeah, compared to some people's, my record collection is quite small, but...
We should talk about the RSD drops we managed to snag.
Oh yeah, I was actually going to talk about that, and we forgot to discussing that before this. But Record Store Day was really fun. But
I had a good time.
What?
I had a good time. I didn't get anything from RSD, but I got A$AP Rock's new album, and that's all that really matters.
I was thinking about vlogging that whole thing and posting it up here. I forgot to kind of the day of until we were like halfway through it, and it was like, oh, well, I guess it's not happening now. But yeah,
we'll do it next time.
Yeah, next year for Record Store Day, and maybe just some like other stuff. I would say we should definitely vlog some concerts, but who knows when that's ever gonna happen again.
That seems cringy. I don't want to vlog concerts.
We'll see. If concerts ever happen again, we'll probably vlog some concerts. But either way, definitely next year we'll vlog RSD. I thought that this year was really cool how they managed to actually do it. Breaking down each of the drops into 3 different drops was cool, but I don't know how I feel about the Black Friday drops because I was actually not able to find some of the stuff I wanted despite being there at open. I thought that was kind of weird. But how do you feel about the whole experience? How do you feel about the Record Store Day experience now that we've done it?
I didn't like anything that was drawn. Nothing really rustled my Jimmy, so I just ended up getting A$AP Rock. Or you got me A$AP Rock's new album. It was a double LP, and it was a clear vinyl, and that was pretty sick.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and of course I had to scoop something up for the homie.
Joe.
Since we were, since he wasn't able to come through. We should totally get Joe on here sometime.
We should have done this episode. Fuck.
Maybe he'll be the next guest appearance because I feel like having a conversation with Joe would definitely be something you guys would want to hear out on. Either way, though, yeah, I was not able to take home the Kids See Ghosts record, which was disappointing. But what was most disappointing to me is the fact that some of the drops did not exist at either of the record stores that we went to in town, and that was kind of saddening. But yeah, I don't know if that's how it usually goes, and maybe previous year goers can confirm or deny to me that sometimes you just, in your entire town, there's no place you could have possibly found them. And we were there right at open at the time the doors opened for both stores, because one opened at 9, one opened at 10. So it was really a good time as far as that went. And yeah, some of it just wasn't there. I wanted to get the Big Crit album. That didn't happen. I wanted to get Posty's single. That was not there. So I ended up having to eBay those bad boys. But as far as the rest of it, I do totally give them props for earlier this year breaking it down into 3 different days, not drays, days, pardon me. And, rolling with the times, and instead of not doing so and just putting more people in danger. They probably saved some lives by breaking it down into 3 days, which is really cool, I would say. In a roundabout sort of way, anyways. But I feel like Black Fridays could have been handled a little bit better. Maybe.
I mean,
it's not really for Black Friday anymore if they break it down into separate days. But hey, is what it is. How do you feel?
If you don't have anything else to talk about, I've got an update on my cat.
Do you have an update on your cat?
So I just got a text from my girlfriend letting me know that my cat earned his nail covers today. He was living at her mom's house, and they'd call the cats, but we managed to convince her to let us put nail covers on him, and he captured a mouse with the nail covers and drowned him in the toilet.
That's fucking brutal.
My cat.
Your cat's a badass cat.
I know, right? So he lost a bunch of weight. He's no longer a fat piece of shit. Fuck, I'm the only fat piece of shit in the house.
What a fucking shame. But
I mean, he's like a healthy weight, so he won't die. He was very healthy.
He was a big boy. He was a meatball.
The vet was very concerned.
The vet was yeah, really?
Yeah, it was a problem.
I think you guys just fucking fed him too much, but
he fed himself.
A meatball. He was a meaty boy.
Yeah,
that's true. He
ate
just
on his
kind
own
of find
accord.
his food.
I couldn't hide it. I tried. He fucking ripped it open. Didn't give a shit. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Old bastard. I love him.
Yeah.
I think that's all I've got for this episode.
Yeah, I think you're right. that is probably all we got.
Thank you for listening. If you've listened this far, you have 10 points. They are redeemable at your nearest store.
Your nearest what?
Store?
Do you accent the store?
Yeah, so in conclusion, see y'all later.
Yeah, fuck off. Love you.